Hey people, I'm up on top of the roof again. I wanted to show y'all my catawba tree over here. That's what it looks like. It looks dead all the time. It'll sprout some leaves and then the worms will come out of it. I showed in that Sphinx, that last Catawba Sphinx movie. So I don't show my face a whole lot because I'm not young and pretty as I once was. And that's all I do is drink coffee, smoke cigars, and study these ancient writings. So you know that they got everything coded and they put it in your face coded all the time. And I'm fixing to show you some code that'll blow your mind. So this is a Mason 1 ounce gold piece. And this is the front and this is the back. And you can see them both on the back of your dollar bill. And it'll say 1782 to 1882 here. But this number here is 1776. And so the position of everything on here has a meaning. You know, across the top, that's the motto. The motto is Annuit Coptus. And so Annuit, you know, the year, Anu, Annuit, and the Coptus. Coptus spelled a little bit different here. You see the C-O-E. And O-E is odal, it means to air. And it also means the copt, you know, to cope something is to shape it. And this T-I-S is ancient Coptic language for it is. And so the Coptic comes from up the Nile, from Upper Egypt, the Coptos up here. That was the governing body up here at the choke. And this comes from a map of the Seleucid Empire, about 300 BC. You know, this is Iran, Iraq, you know, everything west of India here and north of Arabia. And this is what was called the Greeks that run all this. And this was called the Seleucid dynasty, and this is one of their marks, the Atan. They went through a whole bunch of rulers. Some of them didn't last but a year, but every one of them had their face printed on money. Nobody got missed. Every one of them's got their own money. And this old Cleopatra Thea, well, she was a freak because she was the wife of several of the rulers. Some of them she had killed and went back to her old husband before she just became the queen herself. She was ruling. And then several of her children ruled, and she had killed one of them. And what this has to do with anything is the timeline. Everything that I was reading in that letter of Philemon is fitting the same timeline, and it was calling out several of the names, so that's why I looked into that. But this Annuit Coptus, that's the motto, and the motto is Annuit, you know, to bring back the Coptus, the Coptic style of government. And then on the top there, you know, just under the motto is the crest. You know, a crest is the top of a mountain or a hill, or a distinctive device borne above the shield of a coat of arms. So this is what I'm going to get into in this movie, and I'm going to show you what this actually spells. And then on the bottom, you know, it's the novice. If you're new at something, you're a novice. The new, ORDO, the order of SECLORUM, means divided. And that means the pyramid, you know. We're going to have the Alc and I on the top, and everybody is going to be set in levels. That's what the New World Order means. And it's written here in this letter of Philemon, to Philemon. And it's in line 6. So it's coded in the writings. But the meaning they're going to give you is so that the fellowship of the faith of you effective might become in acknowledgement of every good that in us in Christ. And after reading this, I had to look at the rest of the Bibles to see if it changed. And if you go to the verse in the interlinear here, and go to the Bibles, and down here in the Greek, it'll give you some options. And go to parallel text, and it'll give you all the old Greek Bibles, some of them not so old, and so you can compare to see what's been changed. And I noticed that in some of the older Greek Bibles, they had added Jesus at the end. Jesus spelled with an N. It changes several different ways. But it was in the oldest of the Bibles that they had changed that. So I'm going to grab that line so I can compare it to the other Bible. And so all the markings are the same, except they added this Jesus at the bottom and this O here, which was a lowercase here and the upper here. But you can see that this is the only one out of all the Bibles that puts that uppercase. The rest of them are all lower. And the difference that makes is this word is possibly a run-on from the word behind it. When it's uppercase here, that means they're trying to start a new sentence. But you see in the older Bible that it was a lowercase. So that the fellowship, the only thing they got right here is this so, to read backwards. But this mark says to read this through apo, and then backwards, so, and then fo, F-O-E. Apo, so, fo, koinonia. You know, oppo is away, opposing. Away, so, foe, koinonia. You know, foe is your adversary, enemy, your opponent. And this is koinonia, K-O-I-N, O-N-Y-A, K-O-I-N-O-N-Y. Away, so, foe, koinonia. Back in the day, people used to wear these coins to keep the evil away. And it's supposed to be an evil eye and a good eye. It kept the good eye on you to run the evil eye off. You know, this is the eye of luck. It has all your different good luck charms on here. You know, it looks like this. You see, the elephant was a good luck charm, and the four-leaf clover, and the heart lock. The ancient Nazi was for good luck. The horseshoe, like a scroll, and a wishbone. And the all-seeing good luck eye. You know, it was ancient. They would stick it in there in the most ancient coins. And you can see that's the whole origin of the word coin. You know, the K is to give, the O is to see, the I and in. And then that's pisti as so too. You know, so connected. And so TH in the lines has moved the T over that's, THTS. That is, that's, and then pisti as, and they got this wrong. It's not faith. It's they give it faith most of the time, but it's more fidel. They say it comes from this original word pistis, and pistis is more fidelity. It means the guy who's standing behind you. He's getting pissed on. It's ancient Latin, ancient Greek, and they never get it right. You see, they got it last, fidelity, but all the words, you know, they all start with a piss, pissed, P-I-S-T. You know, behind is piso, P-I-S-O, the piss end. You know, omega means end. The piss end is behind you, or you back, behind, aft, downwind is what it means. You can see it in this word rear is a piston, P-I-S-T-E-N, a piston, piston. You can see they take all three of these words and say that they mean faithfulness. But this E-O-S was the other half of that word, P-I-S-T-E-O-S. And they'll say this he means the same thing. Pistos, you know, pistas. Oppose, so foe. You know, away so the enemy coin on ya. This pisti as so too. And so it means behind you. It means on the back side of the coin. And then this word reads backwards first with this mark. And this is she. She green. G-R-E-N. And then energies. E-N-E-R-G-E-S. And you can see that in meanings of this word. Efficient. You know, green energy, efficient, powerful. It only comes up this 3 times. You know, the green energies. That's what they're trying to push on us today. And this is she, and we can tell on them old coins. And the story of their timeline is just unbelievable, because these coins, I got 5-year-old coins out of harder metals than this that didn't hold up this well. But it's in here. This is, you know, the basilia, the vessel, and it's hard to see here. But we can see some green energy here. You know, this is victory, and she's putting the crown of laurel on a tree that's dressed up like a soldier. I guess if you go out and dressed a bunch of trees like your soldiers, you know, you could sneak up behind the enemy while they're trying to get to them trees. But the crown of laurel just means you fought and won, so it means the trees won. But this is what they say is king, kingdom, queen is all in this word, B-A-S-I-L. And then this is E omega S, kingdom whose. And over here, this is the silice. I believe this is where your word solution come from. You know, the K, they'll give it a C. This is pulled off of that coin, and Google won't translate it from Greek. And that's because this is the old Greek. It's Teutonic. This is the queen here, and it's the vessel. And then I-S-S-H. The vessel is she, the queen. And then Cleopatras. And the kingdom is the vessel has, H-O-S. The vessel has. Anti, 4, ocho, 8. Freight, and I believe that's how they take over, is their shipping companies for freight, anti-ocho. And the O-X, you know, that's the trees in the Hebrew, for the trees. I speak for the trees. You can see that on this coin, you know, the L-O-R for the Lorax, and you can see this odal underneath, you know, the odal, the air. But what I picked up most off of these coins was this word for Cleopatra. You see it's a K-L-E and then a little O, just a small O here, and then Patras, and it's so the Cle and of Patras. You know, it's not Cleopatra, it's the Cle of Patras. You know, Cle is to become suit, to look attractive in, to be suitable for, to dress up. Patra is father, paternal, fatherly, fathers. And so Cle, to dress, O of Patra, to dress of father. Cleopatra was a bull dyke. So oppose, so foe, koinonia, that's pistos, so too. So, you know, to plant, so connected. Behind, so behind, plant. She green energies, genet to make. This is, you know, 2I, genet to make, the generation, the engine, the generation, the creation, the genet to make. So you just pronounce that geneti. And then Ben, you know, N-E is B, and then N. The Ben, Jes-O-N. The Benji's son, Jip. The pigeon, as they, Pantos. You know, the Benji's son is Hebrew for the son of the right hand. The Benji, Hebrew, Tagalog, both. And anytime you're reading alchemy, you're facing east, so your right hand is the south. And that's what it's going to mean. So it's son of the south. And so Benji's son, Jip, that's where your word Egypt come from right there. The Jip, got gypped. The pigeon, pigeon, the pigeon. Pigeon is somebody who gets caught up in a confidence scam and they get gypped, they get ripped off. The Benji's son, Jip the pigeon, as they Pantos. You know, OS is those type of people. And the Pants. And the Pantos, you know, the pantheon, you know, the circle. And then Voot Haga, gate of. A little swoosh here tells you to read the O twice, so it's VOOTHAGA. And then GATEOVO, the Voot Haga gate of. And that means you get kicked out the yard, the Haga, the yard gate, the Voot Haga gate. It's where your word agriculture come from, aga. And it means, the yard or the field. And the gate, G-A-T-E, of, voot is the foot, Low German, the foot. And haga is an enclosure, a fenced-in area, a yard. Old English, German, an enclosure, a fenced-in area, yard. Haggai, agriculture, a fence. And the genet to Benji's son, Jip the pigeon, as they pantos, the voot haga gate of, kick 'em out the yard gate. Tova, that's Japanese and Hebrew for to come out. The tova, to come out, been coming. HM coming, and Jimmy, JMME. Jimmy is the word for days in the Hebrew. Been coming days. It's been coming his days. Get booed out the pantheon. And then this mark tells you read this E and then S and then I. S. And this is ES, this, IS. This is Christian. That's where your word Christian comes from. And it's the CHRIST. And it actually means crest. It means the crest on. The crest is the top of a mountain or a hill. In heraldry, a distinctive device borne above the shield. From the old Latin, Christa, C-R-I-S-T-A, the Christa. And so it's the Christon, on, ancient word for light. The crest on. And this is the crest on. And then we're missing that last word. And so that's why this Jesus is spelled 3 different ways. But it's because it's coming Jimmy, coming days. This is the crest on. And then the mark says read this backwards. NWO, the New World Order. S, the New World Orders. And then EYES, the eyes of on. Little hash as you bring this O over here in this direction. The New World Orders, eyes, EYES, of, and then on, with this O here moved over the wave. So that's why you have the 3 different spellings for Jesus. But oppose a foe, koinonia, that's pistos su. She green energies, genet too. And Benji's son, Ben, B-N-J-E, to turn right, G, Ben, son G, Benji, son G, son right, Ha, left. The right-hand son Jip the pigeon, as they pantos voot haga gate of. They get kicked out the gate. Tua, to come out. Been much in Jimmy. Been much in days. This is the crest on. And this is it here. The NWO, the New World Orders. You might read that, the NOVUS, the novice eyes, EYES, the novice eyes of on. And so when it doesn't have the N there, it's just the VOOS. The VOOS is evil. And that's where your word voodoo come from. And so the same word for the novice eyes is also the same word for the evil eyes, just minus the N. And so you got to look closely. Jesus doesn't always mean the same Jesus. The novice eye, in the crest, in the peak. And so I believe this is going back to the story of Jacob and Esau. There's several times through the Bible where somebody didn't get their role. The first one was when Ham became the servants of Shem and Japheth. And then Jacob and Esau, Esau was red, and Jacob stole his birthright. And I believe that's what we got going on here, is we got Esau coming back to take the New World Order. Christos is always spelled different too, and sometimes it comes before, sometimes it comes after. But sometimes, it's the VUS, the evil eyes of. Sometimes it's the novice eyes of. And sometimes it's the Zeus eyes of. The Zeus eyes of us, the pig's eyes of us. You can see that comes up mostly. It's probably talking about gluttony, having pig's eyes, trying to eat everything at the buffet. But all the gods, all the planets are riding chariots across the sky, and they have these horses, pulling the chariot. And you see that word out the gate come up often, to kick them out the gate. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about the race, kicking them out the gate. And so the poetry is talking about the heavens. It's also talking about the earth at the same time. So you can't take anything literally in it. But what we do know is this word Christos in this word for eyes is always found together.
Don't forget. Hurry. I won't forget.
Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.